Of every metal genre, grindcore is probably the one with the second most amount of complete fucking losers in it, only behind black metal. That being said, goddamn to complete fucking losers know their metal, and I'm definitely not just saying that because I am one of those complete fucking losers. Totally not. Grindcore albums. Let's talk about them. These are some of the ones that I like the most, the last one being my favorite, period. That being said, the rest of the albums aren't organized in the slightest, so don't get mad because I talked about one band before another. To start out, Magrudergrind's self-titled album is pretty cool, and I'm listening to it right now as I write the script. I realize how fucking stupid this is completely wrong. What really makes Magrudergrind as a band stick out to me is the aggressiveness of their music. And this album is probably the best example I can think of for that. It's also got this weird undertone of like hip hop influence that really works for some reason. Honestly, only Magrudergrind is allowed to do that because just imagine Napalm Death using rap samples. Probably what hell sounds like. Speaking of Napalm Death, I'm pretty sure you're legally obligated to mention them whenever you talk about grindcore, or some fat tub of lard is going to come in and just slice your head off. So I guess I'll talk about them too. Pretty sure most quote unquote mentally stable people agree Scum is the best album they've released, which makes sense considering it basically created the whole grindcore genre. Get the fuck out of here, Repulsion. It's definitely rudimentary, but it does hold up surprisingly well for its age of 36 fucking years old. I didn't write this in the script, but the one thing about it that I think just is gonna turn a lot of people off on it is the mixing, because Jesus Christ, it's terrible. Inhale Exhale is another great album, especially if you like something with more of a groove. Say that primarily because of the title track, because god damn does that shit go hard. I mean, seriously, Pantera just doesn't have shit on this. Nasum's really good at balancing their heaviness and their groove. I would say they're worth checking out even if you don't listen to grindcore at all. Another one of the best grindcore projects you can listen to is Bookburner by Pig Destroyer. Pig Destroyer is to grindcore what Slipknot is to nu metal, and I realize how fucking stupid that comparison is, but I can explain it. Just like how people who don't even like nu metal at all like Slipknot's earlier stuff at the very least. I feel like Pig Destroyer is easy to get into if you at least like death metal. Bookburner is the perfect example of this, in my opinion. It's one of the best ways to start out with grindcore because of its more clear sound. That's not really to say that it's not heavy. It's just a bit more understandable if that makes any sense. Song seems to be in every Pig Destroyer fan's top three at the very least. Usually with Prowler in the Yard and another certain album that we'll talk about in a second. They're one of my favorite bands in this genre, and this isn't the last album I talk about by them because now it's time to talk about my favorite. Pig Destroyer's Terrifyer. I'm not going to show you the album cover because I don't want to get banned. Look at this instead. If you've never listened to this album, go listen to it now. I'm serious. Click the fuck off this video and go listen to the album. You can come back after, but until then, get the fuck out of here. You do not deserve this. Anyway, this album perfectly gives off a horror movie vibe. It reminds me a lot of when I first watched the movies All Hallows Eve and Terrifier, and not just because of the name. The feeling I got from watching those movies matched Terrifier, the album, not the movie. Anyway, this album is literally the greatest grindcore album ever released, and I refuse to change my mind. I also want to mention the song Natasha with this album, because it goes perfectly with the album and used to be featured on it. It's an amazing song that really proves that metal can be used for storytelling. And I would say more about it, but I don't want to ruin anyone's first listen. Being completely real right now, by the way, that first listen to this song is a whole ass experience. Whether you have 40 minutes and nothing to listen to, listen to Natasha. Anyway, those are my favorite grindcore albums. Obviously, I didn't cover every single one I like. This video would be way too fucking long. And I am aware that I forgot to put nails in here. Jesus fucking Christ, I'm stupid. I would love to see what albums you guys recommend, and I'll definitely give any new ones a listen.